But most people, I think, prefer to just not really care. They throw their shirts in the washer, whatever temp. They throw it in the dryer, whatever temp. And this is basically how it'll give you a little bit of a gauge. And look at the color as well right there. That little kind of bar tacking. In this box, we have a couple of Whitesville t-shirts, and I'll get them out right now. Look at that. The first shirt we see is the Ironheart shirt. The Whitesville's in there. These feel super well made, super soft. I really like how that feels. Athletic wear by Whitesville, quality heavyweight. You can see this kind of two-tone stitching, which is unique. That's kind of nice. Somewhat of a beige or a sand colored stitching. Very well done. These are loop-wheeled, so they're slowly done on vintage 1900s machines from around the 1920s. Oh yeah, that's gonna be nice to try on. Oh yes, these Whitesville tees are really nice. These are styled after the 1950s kind of tees. Whitesville actually used to be a company, an American company that a Japanese company bought out. Toyo Enterprises, they revived it rather. They didn't buy it out, they bought the name, and they started reproducing the kind of shirts and garments that the company used to make back in the day in the 50s. And these things are really highly coveted because of the way that they're constructed. Based on how you see the collar is nice and beefy. The two-tone stitching that I mentioned earlier, on top of the fact that it is kind of like raw denim as well. A lot of denim heads will love shirts like this because it will shrink, it will kind of age and take on the patinas of life, so to speak. Although you can keep them white, of course, but a new white shirt versus a used white shirt do look different. And a used one usually doesn't look too bad if it's kept in good condition and, you know, it's not turning yellow or something. So I bought the extra large. A lot of people will recommend you wash these in cold water and line dry them, just like any kind of higher end garment, you know, like Japanese denim or any kind of nice raw denim that you want to take care of. You use cold water and then line dry it. But for me, what I'm going to do, particularly with this one, is I'm going to put it in probably either warm or hot water wash, and then I'm gonna dry it in a medium or a high heat as well to see how much shrinkage I can get out of it, because I do think the fit is good, and I have a 41-inch chest. So at this size, you can see it's pretty decent even without being washed, but it will tighten up. So if you prefer a tighter fit, you would probably want to choose a size large if you have a 40-inch chest like I do. Of course, other dimensions might matter, but usually the body's gonna have enough for everybody. The length is going to be long enough, just so you can get an idea of the length. I will also have the measurements on Splished.com, my website, in case you're curious about the shrinkage on these XLs. So I'm a size medium or a large in US sizing usually, and in Japanese and Asian sizes I'm usually around a XL or even a double XL or even triple XL. It honestly depends, but we're talking about the Whitesville shirts, and these I would say to size up by 3 sizes. Honestly, the vast majority of my t-shirts are size medium, and again, I have about a 41-inch chest, and these are an extra large. But yeah, a 2-pack of these is going to run you around $95 US. Of course, I got these off JP Fans, or rather Mercari, or rather off Amazon, Japanese Amazon, through JP Fans, a proxy service. And they paid for these shirts for the most part, as well as my Ironheart shirt, which I will have a video of on the channel. But of course, that service had zero to do with selecting these items. It is a proxy service that ships from Japan to, you know, globally. And I decided to choose these myself when they reached out for a sponsorship. This video itself is not sponsored, but this shirt came from that sponsorship, just so, you know, just for any kind of bias, I guess. But honestly, I wanted to buy these shirts regardless, because it's a 2-pack versus other things like the Merz B Schwanen, which come in a 1-pack for the same price or even slightly more expensive than these loop wheel t-shirts. And those are high quality as well. They're made in Germany versus made in Japan, and they're also made on vintage loop wheel machines, just like the ones that are made in Japan, but they're a little bit more pricey. They have a little bit more kind of striations going on, a little bit more interesting look to it, but I actually really like these super plain ones where it's kind of unassuming. It looks like it's just a regular plain white tee, and it is, but it's actually high quality and has some heritage and prestige behind it. As I'm like trying to find a seam, I cannot, right? If we compare these to the Hanes Beefy-T, the material on this is kind of like this, you can feel the material on the Beefy-T is just like this rougher spun type of cotton. When I feel this, very smooth. The Whitesville is so smooth. It feels luxurious when I'm just kind of touching it. Whereas this, it doesn't like feel bad, but you can definitely tell it's not like a smooth cotton. There's a roughness to it. The collar, pretty much trash in comparison. If you look at this, trash collar in comparison, although it is taped, which is kind of nice, I suppose. The taping here, you can see where it kind of hides the seams. This is even better though, because it's just really well done. It's super flat. It doesn't feel like it would irritate your neck at all. I mean, I'm wearing the shirt right now, so it's not irritating my neck or anything like that. It is very nice. And this one doesn't irritate my neck or anything. Of course, as I mentioned, it's taped. You can see right there. The same thing with the shoulders, right? The taping is just this piece of cloth. As you can see, it's like a line, and it covers up the seams. Keeps it a little bit more comfy, but it'll also add a little bit more bulk on the shoulders and stuff like that. Whereas this, super finely done, very thin. When I feel this, it's thicker than when I feel this one here. Considerably thicker on this Hanes Beefy-T. And again, this is a size medium, and this fits me pretty well. And I think once this extra large Whitesville shrinks, it'll fit much like this Hanes size medium. So it is quite a few sizes up, right? And look at the collar as well, right there. That little kind of bar tacking, super nice. And it's only on one part because this is one band, and it loops around and gets stitched right there on the left side of your body. That looks really good. On these, you can see how it's stitched this way, and it's attached in an entirely different fashion compared to how the Whitesville is attached. And of course, by the way, the Hanes is only about $8 versus $50 each for these, and you have to buy them in 2-packs. So it's basically a $50 shirt. And here we have the Whitesville tee with some Wrangler jeans. I just threw on the same boots. The Danners are like one of my least favorite boots, these side zip boots, but they're so convenient to put on. So I like to go in and out all the time, or I need to go in and out all the time. And I like the zipper, super convenient. And I have the other shirt in the dryer right now. I put it through a warm wash, and now it's in a high heat dry. And I'm really curious about how much the shrinkage will alter the fit, because even when I took it out while it was still wet, I feel like I noticed there was already shrinkage even while it was wet. I don't know, it's hard, it's just a little more of an intuitive thing than actually knowing for sure. But once it's dry, we'll get it on. We'll also have the measurements on the website, link in the description below. Also use the affiliate links in the description. I'll get a little bit of a kickback. It helps the channel a lot, and I appreciate you a lot too. Oh yes, this is a nice fit now after a warm wash in the washer and high heat in the dryer. This thing now fits basically like a US medium, so an American medium. The length here shrank a full inch, and I have all the measurements on the website, as I keep mentioning. Also, something I haven't mentioned a single time in any of my videos at all is the YouTube channel membership. Check out the membership down below. Just hit the join button. It's only $1.99. It helps me buy stuff like this, maybe not loop wheel shirts. So now it is a appropriate length for me to keep untucked. I mean, I don't think the 27.5 inch length on me was too bad, but I do prefer a shorter shirt if I'm not going to tuck, but I am a tucker. I usually tuck, so let me tuck it in. And it is still long enough to tuck as well, which is pretty nice. I mean, that's always nice. Otherwise, I would have to size up. I would say if I wanted the fit that's larger, like the one that I was just showing you without it being washed, you'll have to size up significantly. But the thing is, with Japanese sizes, I believe they only go up to 3XL. And this is usually how I like shirts to fit, whether they're undershirts or just shirts that I'm wearing as a t-shirt, you know. And most people, I think, prefer slightly roomier fits. This is an 8.5 inch now after the wash. The sleeve is 8.5 inches, so that will kind of give you a little bit of a gauge on terms of like the fullness of the sleeve. I guess, oh, that's the one measurement I missed, is the width of the sleeve. I forgot to take that measurement. I will do that now on these, but I won't have the pre-wash measurement because I've already thrown the other shirt I was just wearing into a cold wash, and I'm going to have the measurements for that one. So you'll have a choice. If you want to cold wash and line dry it, it won't shrink as much. That's the best way to keep it somewhat the same size, but it's going to shrink regardless. But most people, I think, prefer to just not really care. They throw their shirts in the washer, whatever temp. They throw it in the dryer, whatever temp. And this is basically how it'll turn out over time. But yeah, check out the YouTube channel membership, $1.99. Support Splished and get splished yourself.